The men's NCAA baseball tournament is here. Who are your favorites to win?
I really look at two teams out of the SEC. Arkansas and Vanderbilt are kind of my early favorites, and I think you go to the Commodores, and this is a team that is undeniably coming in hot after the run they made in Hoover, and I think a truth for both of them is that you usually look at them as like pitching heavy teams, but I feel like this year for both of them the bats have come on a little more, and especially if I'm right of late for Vanderbilt. And I think they both have a blend that really will take them to Omaha and make them heavy favorites.
LSU is one of my favorites to win, both because they got a favorable draw in regionals, but also because they have arguably the best 1-2 pitching punch in the country with Cade Anderson and Anthony Ianson. So it's hard to see someone defeating the Tigers in a super regional as well. Arkansas is another team that stands out for their blend of standout players, both on the pitching and offensive sides of the ball.
Which team is your dark horse pick for the men's NCAA baseball tournament?
One dark horse pick for me is Duke. Duke is a team that was very highly thought of in the preseason, but they started their season off poorly. However, they have finished strong. They have a very good offense, and that should be favorable to their regional matchup in Athens, which is a very hitter-friendly ballpark.
It may admittedly be a bit of a cop-out to call them a dark horse as a one of the 16 host sites, but a team that I'm really going to be watching is Northeastern all the way through this. They've been hot all year. They've rode pitching to the level of success they've had, but also, as a mid-major team, I'm going to be really intrigued to just see how well they hold up against the rest of the field. I think there are plenty of other dark horses from a high major kind of standpoint, but I think that's the number one team that I'll be looking at as far as dark horses go, because they could genuinely be a mid-major threat to the entire field.
Which college baseball stars should fans keep an eye on throughout the NCAA tournament?
I look at Riley Nelson in Vanderbilt's lineup, and I look at Wahiwa Alloy as well in Arkansas. They've kind of been the flagship bats, so to speak, of those teams. The last guy in that kind of group that I look at that I'll be intrigued by is Ike Irish at Auburn. He's a guy who, after the lack of success they had last year, could have gone probably anywhere in the country and tried to have success, and he opted to try to run it back, and they've done that. And I think he's somebody who has had an inevitable chip on the shoulder all year, and I wonder how much that could maybe help the Tigers down the stretch.
Cousins Alex Lodis at Florida State and Kyle Lodis at Georgia Tech. Both of them play shortstop for their respective schools and are spark plugs in their team's offensive success as well. Alex Lodis was named ACC Player of the Year. Also in the SEC, Ike Irish at Auburn really had an under-the-radar season, as did Ace Reese at Mississippi State, who put up some of the best power numbers in the SEC this year.